Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to do a mail merge, but we're going to specifically be talking about mail merge through email. So we want to be able to send a whole bunch of emails with the exact same format at once. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through that. Now, a couple things to keep in mind. One, I am working on a Mac computer. Two, for this to work, you have to have Office installed and you need Outlook installed. Okay, if you don't have Office or Outlook, then you're going to have an issue. Now, I'm going to use Excel, but we don't need to use Excel. Any spreadsheet or CSV file will work for this, but I do need Word, okay, and I need Outlook. Again, if you do not have those, this will not work. All right, now before I get started showing you how this works, I need to cover one more topic. By default, Mac comes with OS Mail. If you have that set up, or even if you don't, this is the default email program for Mac. This will not work if it's set as mail to be the default. When you get to the mail merge through email, it's going to be grayed out. You're not going to be able to mail merge to email inside of Word. So we need to fix that first. So here's how we do that. We simply open Mail, go up to Mail, Settings, and then right under General, you'll see Default Email Reader is set to Microsoft Outlook on mine, but it will be set to Mail on yours. Make sure that you have Outlook set up and then choose Microsoft Outlook and then close this out. Okay, that's all the setting changes you need to do to make Outlook your default email program. Now, if you have Word open, it's important to go ahead and quit Word and then reopen it so that those changes are actually identified. Okay, so I'm going to jump to Excel, and inside Excel I'm going to set up a generic CSV file that I'm going to pull my mail merge from. So you, like I said before, you can pull this from anywhere. Maybe you have a program, Final Forms, or some other program that you're pulling data from. That will be just fine. But if you don't have one, we can set up a generic one right now. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say first name, last name, email, and then we'll add maybe student name. So maybe my first name and last name is the parent's first name and last name, and this is my student's name. We can add in notes or comments or whatever. Sorry, I'm just trying to get on top of this line here so I can expand these columns. It's not changing my cursor. So I'll do note. I can do comments. I can do any other category I want. These headers don't really matter. You do at least need an email field, otherwise you're not going to know who to send this email to. Okay, so I'm going to just populate some data here. Let's say Keith Simpson, and I'm going to actually use a legitimate email address here so I can verify it works. Student name is going to be Marge Simpson. Haha, get it? No, never mind. All right, notes, behaves well. All right, I'll populate some more. Let's do at least two. So we'll do Abby Loeffler, and again, just so I can verify this actually works, I'm using a legitimate email address, and then I'm gonna put in the child's name as Bubba Loeffler. Okay, and comment is a pain in the rear. All right, so there we go. So I've got my database. So I'm just going to do a file save as, and I'm going to give it a database name. So I'm going to call it mail merge template. Save it to my desktop. Now I like to save these as CSV files. You don't have to. Excel is fine. Okay, mail merge template, close this. Now I'm going to create a new document inside Word. I did jump to Word. I'm going to go to the Mailings tab and just say Start Mail Merge. And I'm not going to click on the button. I'm going to click here because I want to tell it that I'm doing an email message. Now, to do an email message, I'm going to select Recipients. I'm going to use an existing list because I just created it. And I'm going to find that file that I called Mail Merge Template. I'll say Open. Yes, you have access. It's not malicious. Okay, I'm going to use the entire sheet. Now I can go ahead and do things. Insert my stuff. So Dear, and I'm writing an email here. Insert mail fields. I'm going to say first name, space, last name, comma, your child, comma, and then let's insert student name, is, and then we'll just do note. Cool. Alright, so we're done there. Now, I added punctuation into one of my notes in my Excel sheet, and I didn't on the other. So if I add punctuation here, just understand because of the way it's inputted, I could have double punctuation. If I don't put punctuation, then I could have an issue with no punctuation. But, you know, that's because of the way I entered data. So just keep that in mind. I'm not going to leave any punctuation. And now I'm just going to say yours truly. Cool. David. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Now if I do this preview results right here, you'll see is behaves well. That doesn't make sense, but whatever. It worked. It filled out the form just like I wanted. If I go to the second one, is pain in the rear. Okay, and notice I got my punctuation. So I have a little typo in my formatting, so I'd edit this, but this is just demo purpose. So now that I have this done, I can go here to finish and merge, and I can say merge to email. Now again, remember, if Outlook isn't set up and isn't set up as default, this will be grayed out and it won't work. Okay, but if it works, then I can say merge to email, and on the to field, I'm just going to say I want to send to the email, and the subject is child's behavior. Okay, and I can send this as a text formatted email, an attachment to another email, or I can send it as an HTML message, which means if I have pictures and documents, it'll send those things as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add it as a HTML message and say merge to Outbox. Now what that's going to do is that's going to go ahead and open my email program and send those emails. So I've got some junk emails here. Just collapse this because it's not important. Now if I give it a few seconds, you'll notice that my outbox, which you can't see on this one, will actually say that those are sent, and boom, here it is. Dear Keith Simpson, your child, Marge Simpson, behaves well. Okay, grammar is a thing here that we're going to have to deal with. Yours truly. If I was to log into my other account, you'd notice that their email is also sent. So that's kind of a quick rundown of how I would do a mail merge inside of Word and Outlook to send a mass email to everybody. Now keep in mind your formatting, keep in mind how that works. Like for instance, first name, last name, I have to put a space there because I don't have it. But you can use a CSV file for many things, and rather than printing and mailing a bunch of things, you can mass email people if you have their email addresses. So I hope that helps you. I hope I didn't bore you, and I hope I sound better than the way I do in my head. I'm not going to watch this back. I'm just going to hit send and be happy with the results. So here's hoping you guys enjoy this video. Thanks.